Welcome back, everyone. It's been a while since I've done a proper update video, and I guess I'll go around to all of my tanks today, show you what's going on with them, and clue you in on a few projects that I've got in the works. So obviously this is the 180-gallon Reef, and everybody always likes the full tank shot, so we'll just start with that and talk a little bit about this tank right here from this view. Then maybe I'll get in a little bit closer some of the other items of interest, but not a whole lot new in here, other than I've added my two Melanoris wrasse into the tank, and we're getting along just fine. See if I can point them out if they're visible. You can see down here in the right-hand corner, that's the male Melanoris wrasse. And the female is the smaller one, which is right about there. And they went in a few days ago, and pretty much no problem. The only one I was concerned about was the 6-line wrasse, and of course, that was the one that took the most notice of these fish. And yeah, so the 6-line sort of harassed them a little bit, mainly the smaller one. Tried to harass the bigger one just didn't budge. Kind of let him know, like, he's not to be messed with. And it was kind of funny, the smaller one kept going closer to the larger one, so the female was, seeking the protection of the male. And the 6-line kind of kept his distance, and that went on for about a day or two, and then I just see them pretty much hanging out together, so it's a little bit of a dominance thing. I think they've worked out their differences, and they seem to be getting along just fine now, which is good. Probably the only other one that showed a little bit of aggression to them, surprisingly, was my flame angel. It didn't really seem to like the fact that the Melanoris wrasse was in here. So the flame angel did give chase to the male Melanoris wrasse a little bit. But again, that seems to have died down, so no real issues there. But they're doing pretty good. The other item of interest, I guess, or the other new thing, probably is the pairing of the Watchman goby and my tiger pistol shrimp, who was also new. And they hit it off right away, which was pretty cool. I had been, waiting for a long time to get a pistol shrimp that would pair up with my goby, and right away they went to work on some tunnels, hanging out together nonstop. I'm starting to get a little bit worried, though, because it's been a few days since I've actually seen the goby. I know that they have a pretty extensive tunnel network over here because I'm always seeing fresh sand pushed out. But lately I haven't seen any sign of the goby. Last time I saw him, he was kind of poking his head out of one of these little caves that they had. And it was, only like a little slit I could see him in there. And I just a little worried. I hope that the shrimp didn't bury him alive in there. But I'm sure that they're fine. I mean, they must do this all of the time in nature. I'm sure he had multiple ways out, but a little bit concerned, but I'm sure they'll pop his head up again. So yeah. And then why don't I just hit the button to give a little bit of food into the tank while we're watching them. So I have an automatic feeder up here. It's one Apex automatic feeder, so I just hit the button. It's going to give one rotation of the drum. Drop a little bit of food in, and the fish will see that and go crazy. As far as the corals, yeah, everything seems to be doing pretty good. No complaints there, just, the only problem, and it's a good problem, is, everything is just kind of growing into each other. But it looks pretty good, I think. I do have to trim a few things back. But there are a few changes that I think I'm going to make, just in regards to rearranging some things. And I still need to work out a plan on how I'm going to do this. But say this big leather coral up here just got massive, and it's taking up so much real estate up high in the tank. And I think I'd rather have some other things there. So I may take this leather coral and move it down here and, you know, put it down on the sand bed and move some of these other things maybe up there. The only real problem with that is that I've got the two pink skunk clowns live inside of that leather, and they don't get along with the clownfish down here. And if I move their home over to here, that's going to cause a turf war. So not quite sure what'll happen with that, but we'll see. All right, so I've got a lot of other things I want to show you on some of the other tanks. So just quickly, preview of some things to come, some new items that I got, which will be used pretty soon. And just get a quick look at everything else. See if we can get in a little bit closer, see how everybody's doing. And I'm using that new orange filter that I got from the My Aquarium box, which is pretty cool. I think it's working good. And that allows me to put the two max spec lights on, because otherwise they just made the shots way too blue, so I always turned them off. But now I can turn them on and get the full illumination. This is what the tank normally looks like. So all right, I'm going to move on to one of the other tanks. If you guys have any questions on this one, let me know. And see if I can get you the answers. All right, real quick. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I know you guys just saw a lot of videos on these vivariums. But just show where they're at right now. I've got them up here on top of this cabinet. And this is not their final home. I still are going to be moving this somewhere else. But things are doing good. The frogs are in there. They're getting adjusted. They're still a bit shy. Let's see if we can catch any of them out and about now. I just saw the bumblebee frog. That's Denarius. Was hopping about. And of course she went and hid as soon as I got close. And Jon Snow, he's a lot more shy than Denarius. Hides down in his cave a lot, but he does come out. I've seen him up on top of the cave. And they were out earlier eating some flies. So I've got another update I'm going to be doing on this tank. So stay tuned. It's going to be sort of a lessons learned and, you know, things I would have done different. So that should be the last part of that build series. So we'll be doing that soon. And let's move on to another tank. All right, next up is the 25-gallon Reef. And this one really deserves an update of its own, I think. But just quickly, first of all, I could finally get some decent pictures of this with this gel filter. It always just seemed a little purple or whatever before. And never really, the camera never really did it justice, but it's looking pretty good right now. And this tank is basically coming off of the fluconazole treatment. I had been battling bryops. There was bryopsis in here and mostly hair algae, and this tank was just in sad shape. And so I've given it the dose of that stuff about a month ago, and wow, things have really turned in my favor. I'm happy to say the bryopsis is gone. The hair algae is probably 95% gone. There was even a little bit of aptasia in here, which I think I've also gotten under control, you know, knock on wood. Haven't seen any pop up in here in weeks. So yeah, this tank is definitely turning a corner. And yeah, I've got some plans for this. Maybe do some things different. I'm going to rearrange some stuff in here, put some better suited corals. But yeah, that's the 25-gallon Reef. All right, I know I keep talking about this gel filter, but I haven't actually shown what it looks like. So this is it. It's just a orange tinted glass on this clip, and just clips onto my iPhone, and you can see the difference. So this is without it. Everything's just way too blue. Just clip that on there, and it's like magic. Everything it looks to be the proper colors now. All right, so next up is the 20-gallon frag tank. And this tank, it has its ups and its downs. It's doing decent, and I've got good equipment on here, and, you know, everything should be working. So, you know, it's got the equipment in its favor, and, you know, I've been taking pretty good care of it. But the one thing that has going against it is I just think I'm trying to do too much with too little. And I mean like water volume. I mean, this is only a 20-gallon long. There's no sump on this. And as you can see, I've just packed it full of mostly just Monteporas and whatever else breaks off of the corals in my main tank. And I've got them in here. And it's just, I just don't think I don't have the room. And I don't have the water volume to do what I want to do. And that's grow out these little frags and make them presentable and available for sale, maybe. I don't know, for trade. I don't know. I just need more room is basically what it is. So that brings me to my next project. So this is going to be getting a major upgrade. So let me show you what that is in just a minute. But yeah, this tank is not going to be here much longer. This will be getting shut down to make room for something else. All right, before I show you what I've got planned, we'll do a quick update on the little 10-gallon office tank. And it's just been sitting on the desk here. This was always meant to just be a sort of little experiment, real low maintenance, just spare parts I had laying around. See what would grow in here, what wouldn't grow. And it's doing pretty good, I mean, for what it is. Mushrooms, Kenya trees. And this is really overgrown macroalgae, and there's a reason for that, which I want to show you in just a second. But yeah, so some things worked okay in here, and this was just total hands-off. I mean, basically put everything together, feed the fish, and replace the top-off water when it needs it. Did just very few water changes in there. Really didn't need a whole lot of maintenance on it. That's because there really wasn't a whole lot, in there, so... Just goes to show you, if you want to start a saltwater tank and you don't want to spend a whole lot and just want to, dabble in it and just do some of the basics, I mean, you could do it really easy and, without a whole lot of special equipment. So, all right, so that's that, and here's the big reveal. So, I am in the process of putting together a new build, and this is going to go right here in the corner of my office. I've cleared out a bunch of stuff. And I'm going to be hooking up a 40 breeder. This is going to be basically my new frag tank. So I've got a 40 breeder. I'm going to have a 20-gallon sump. I'm going to have proper filtration on here. I'm going to have proper lighting. I've got some new AI primes, HDs. Got them from Billy Pipes. Got a new overflow kit. I'll be showing that later. It's going to be pretty good. Going to have a refugium in here. Got my lighting ready. So, got heaters already. I'm going to be having a mesh top on there. So yeah, I'm going to really put together a proper system. And I'm going to be throwing my frags into there. So everything that's in that 20-gallon frag tank will be going into here. Everything that's in here will be going into there. And that macroalgae will be getting thrown into the refugium. Because it's going to have a refugium in there. And yeah, I'm looking forward to starting on this build soon. So... I just need to get to Home Depot, get some lumber, start on the stand, and get cracking. So, that's pretty much all of the updates that I've got coming, but that doesn't mean that's everything. So, I had been planning all this for a while, and my real intention was to simplify things. And basically, I have 4 reef tanks, I guess, the 180, the 25, the 10-gallon and the 20-gallon frag tank, and that's 4 tanks. That's just too much, and I was, just really wanted to pare it down, so I'd have basically the 180 and then a 40 breeder upstairs, and then that 25-gallon, which is, pretty self-sufficient. So I was going to go from 4 to 3, but then you guys come up with this Rico Nano Tank Challenge. So what am I going to do? Still debating. I mean... I'm now going to have an empty 20-gallon tank. I'm going to have an empty 10-gallon tank. Got plenty of frags to choose from. So I may just have to enter that little challenge / competition, whatever you guys are calling it. I'll put a link to that down below if you don't even know what I'm talking about. And yeah, so if I can get my 40 breeder together quick enough, and if I still have the ambition to set up another tank, because I was really... just wanting to simplify a bit, I may be doing that. So I know they've got some really good prizes planned, and it should be a lot of fun. So we'll see. So, alright guys, I know that this was a super long update video, but I know some of you guys like them, so we'll see. If you think it goes on too long, let me know. I can always make shorter videos going forward. But anyway, it was a lot to cover, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Any questions, comments, leave them below. As always, I appreciate the thumbs up, any subscriptions. It really helps. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, and take care. Oh yeah, and one more thing. I still am planning on finishing up this ReefBerry Pi DIY aquarium controller, and it is currently in testing. I've just been running this. Haven't done a whole lot of updates on it yet, or in a while, but I just wanted to test what I had, because one of the most important things is reliability. So I've just had this thing running in a little test tank, collecting data, and I'm happy to see that it's been running for 54 days now. Has not crashed, hasn't given me a hiccup, it's just been collecting data and not detecting any memory leaks or anything. So everything that I've done so far is working exactly as it was supposed to. So I'm real happy to see that. And once I get my new 40 breeder together, I will most likely be moving this up to there, and I'll be using this ReefBerry Pi aquarium controller to run my 40 breeder. I just really had nowhere to set this up, in the meantime, so I've just been running on this tank. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back into this. So look forward to that as well. Catch you guys next time.